Hi, I'm Tracy Pierce. Thanks for joining us. I'm doing a series of free little mini animal communications as the pandemic with coronavirus started to kind of fall out. I was receiving all these messages from my animal friends that they really wanted me to do this series of mini animal communications. You know, they're 10 to 20 minutes long, and really give the animals a chance to put their message out to the world. So today we're going to be talking with my doggie. This is a new doggie friend to me, Gracie. I'll pull up her picture here. So here is Gracie. And so if you're joining me here on Zoom Live, if you look down on the bottom button, on the bottom of your screen there should be a button that says chat. And so if you have any questions for Gracie, you can type those into the chat. I've actually got several questions from Gracie's favorite human, well, one of Gracie's favorite humans anyway. And so we're gonna jump right in and see what Gracie wants to tell us, and also, you know, if she wants to answer these questions that we have for her as well. So I'm just gonna get quiet and start tuning in to Gracie. Yeah, part of what the humans' questions were highlighting were about this Gracie's arm. If you look in the picture, you can see like it's wrapped, her front right arm. What's happening for you, Gracie? Or what do you want us to know about you? Or what do you want to share with us? What I feel is this kind of sadness in Gracie's heart. Would you like to tell us more about that, Gracie? She's showing the world and the humans, and how, and like, she shows me, here's the earth, and then it gets turned upside down. Like, things are really turned upside down for humans right now, and she says she feels a little scared and a little bit worried for the humans. Could you say more about that, Gracie? So what she's showing me again is the earth, and then there's this kind of vibration happening around it. And she said there's stuff that's vibrating off, vibrating, like vibrating off like that. And some of them are human lives. Yeah, she's just showing there's a lot falling away right now. There's a lot falling off. There's a lot. And the way the humans are responding to it, she feels is a little bit scary. Now you mean humans in general, not like your particular humans. Is that right, Gracie? Yes, humans in general. Yeah, she's showing the earth is kind of shaking. Do you have any advice for us about that, Gracie? Or things you might like to see change? Or what would you like humans to know about this situation? I see her, she kind of shows, you know, that emoji that looks like this. Um, she's showing me that. She's like, I don't know what the answer is, but I do feel a lot of fear and trepidation in people. Yeah, she does feel like the anxiety in the household where she lives has been a little bit elevated. It probably has been for most households, Gracie. Does it feel, um, easy or difficult for you to deal with that? I know how to handle it, she says. Is there something that you want your humans that you live with to know about the situation or about you? She says, I'm doing okay. I do feel a little bit stressed, but I'll be okay, is what she says. She does feel like the people in the house worry about her and the world. Maybe a bit more than they need to, is what she's saying. She says, I totally understand why people are worried and scared. Is there something that they can do or that you feel might help them or humans in general? What Gracie is showing me is around breathing. And so this is something actually I've learned recently as well. When, there's all different kinds of breath work and breathing exercises and things like that. But as far as Gracie's showing, like switching your nervous system from a fight or flight response to more of a relaxed, rest and digest nervous system. What she's showing is the breathing is, this is a breath pattern. I think they call it like the Dr. Andrew Weil breath pattern. I think he's the one who actually put the numbers to it. But the basic, what it boils down to is you inhale through your nose deeply but quickly, and then hold your breath in, for a little while, and then slowly exhale. So Dr. Weil, I think he says, you inhale for 4 counts, hold it in for 7 counts, and then exhale for 8 counts. And when you exhale, do it through your mouth. Gracie says what she knows is there's something about making the exhale longer than the inhale that helps kind of reset the nervous system. So that's a really easy way to bring awareness to your breath and also calm your nervous system down, is what Gracie is saying. She would really like for the people where she lives to practice that a little bit more. Yeah, she's showing like there's a little bit of high energy, high anxiety, nervous system kind of energy in the house, and she feels that the breathing is one thing that could really help people where she lives. Okay, thank you, Gracie. I know your human has a bunch of questions for you. Is there anything else you want to tell us about you or the coronavirus or anything else before we go to questions? And no, questions are fine. Okay, Gracie. So I'm just looking over at questions here. So I know you had this surgery recently, Gracie, on your front right foot. Can you tell us, how is your pain level? And do you feel like the surgery helped, and are the meds helping to manage your pain? She says my front right foot definitely doesn't feel the same as the other feet. And that doesn't mean bad, but she's saying it still feels different. Can you tell me more about that, Gracie? Well, she said, well, I think the important thing is that I don't feel pain in the right foot now. Even when you walk or go for walks or anything? Well, shorter walks are better still. Yeah, the longer prolonged walking or the longer walks, it does start to hurt a little bit, but overall she's saying it's doing pretty well. How do you feel about that medication that you're taking, Gracie? Yeah, I feel, so what I felt was, if you're feeling pain in your body, it almost felt like it pulled the pain away from her body is how it feels to me. It's almost like the pain is being pulled and held at a distance so that her physical body doesn't feel it. Okay. Thank you, Gracie. Now I know there's another human that you're really connected with. I believe her name is Tanya, right? Yeah, what's so special about Tanya to you? Tanya has magic in her energy, is what Gracie says. She's showing Tanya with these kind of like upward bound sparkles in her energy. I see a light color of pink and this sort of silvery, almost white color in Tanya's energy. And Gracie says, wow, I'm just really attracted to her energy. Like she's very uplifting and her viewpoint is higher, is what she's saying, is her viewpoint is often higher than what typical humans think. She's showing, so if most typical humans think from their brain, she's showing like Tanya thinks from a higher place. It's one of the things that's so cool about her. Yeah, I just love her energy, Gracie says. She has the best energy. Is there anything else you would like to share with us about Tanya or any of the other humans in your house? I'd rather answer questions, she says. Okay, we can do that, Gracie. Let's see. So your human would like to know, why do you have to bark constantly at airplanes? It seems like when you go to work with her that you're near an airport, and so barking at the planes is something. Why do you do that? Ooh, sorry, I feel this like chill kind of go through my energy. What she's showing is, so like as the planes are going by, and especially like when they're taking off and coming down, there's this vibration level that she's showing, like this massive vibration kind of going out in every direction. And she shows like the frequency of it when it hits her energy is just so like, it just doesn't feel good to her. And yeah, the bark is almost a way to like, I'm trying to move that vibration out of my energy. She says it's like, woof, and it helps, yeah, it helps disperse that vibration. So is it something that maybe you wouldn't want to go to work with her then? Like, is the airplane thing so disturbing to you, Gracie? Well, I don't like it, she says. That doesn't mean that I don't want to go to work with her. I would, but I do need to bark in order to move this energy through me, is what she's saying, because otherwise it gets kind of stuck. Like she shows it, that energy kind of collapsing in around her spine, and she says that for whatever reason that particular vibration of the airplanes really disturbs her, and if she can't be there without barking to move it out. That's what she's saying. Okay, that's probably really good for your human to know, so she can make decisions about that. Let's see. I'm looking at the other questions here. Looks like we've got some in the chat and from the human here. So let's see. Kim wants to know, how do you, Gracie, and what you know of other pets deal with anxiety that they feel from humans? Well, she says we do a variety of things to kind of shake it off. She shows herself like doing a shaking thing, you know, like after a dog comes out of a creek or something when they're wet, how they do the shaking thing to move it off. There could be a variety of ways that we move the energy through our bodies. Maybe we need to go for a run at the dog park, or we need to move a little bit more than we normally do. Movement actually helps us a lot to move any of the excess energy that we might be holding on to for our humans. Yeah, and she says, well, you know, you humans out there might be thinking right now, well, maybe I just need to deal with my anxiety so I don't put it onto my pet. And she says that would be great, but at the same time, she does want us to know that some pets do have these energetic agreements. It's not like an agreement down here. It's more of like a spiritual agreement, if you want to call it that, to take on energy for humans. And you know, sometimes humans view this as a bad thing and they don't want to do this to their pet. And you know, it would be great if they could learn to manage their energy better, but understand that some pets do come in with this agreement to take on things for humans, and that sometimes is part of our mission. It might sound weird, it might sound, you know, like, oh, I don't really want this, but Gracie's kind of showing me this history of, you know, I've talked to a lot of different animals, and she's kind of pinpointing several who did say, yes, this is part of my work, is to take on this energy. It's something that I'm doing. And to not make us wrong or bad for doing that. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Gracie. Let's see, and Linda would like to know, is there a way for us humans to respond that would help us deal with this better? And I think she's talking about with the coronavirus. Gracie says you need to go slower, 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 slower. Like there's this group of people on the front line of things, like healthcare workers and manufacturers who are manufacturing medical supplies and things like this. Like these people have to be going very, very fast. Politicians, these kind of people, but everybody else who is staying home, trying to, you know, obey the lockdown orders, like you need to really, really slow down. She's pointing her finger at me. She's like, Tracy, you're doing the same thing. You're trying to go too fast. You're trying to do too many things. We do really need to slow down. Could you say more what that might look like? You know, like Gracie, I feel like I have been trying to slow down, but you know, like sometimes I'm just really, really not sleeping well, and you know, it makes the rest of the day hard. So, you know, what do you mean by slowing down exactly? Because, you know, to some people that might mean just, oh, I'm going to watch TV all day or something like this. So could you be more specific? And again, she's pointing her finger directly at me. She's like, this is a message for a lot of people, but it's also a message directly for me of especially like starting your mornings a little bit slower. You know, instead of jumping up and going and making your coffee right away, like, maybe you just sit up in bed and, you know, go directly into a meditation space. Or, yeah, she's saying like taking your time, waking up, enjoying, feeling what your body feels like lying in bed. And, you know, maybe even bringing the kids in to snuggle with you. Like this is something you normally wouldn't do. And yeah, she's showing how starting slower in the morning can really help set the pace for the rest of the day. And so she encourages people to look at what their morning routines are and see if you can make it a little less hectic. Thank you, Gracie. All right, let me look here. Let's see any more questions in Zoom. Let me see if we got anything. I think I got all of your humans' questions. Oh, we have one final question for you, Gracie. Is there anything that your human can work on in herself or in general that might help make your relationship with her even better? Well, she says, no, there's like, you're doing a perfect job. It's what Gracie says. Like, I'm not at all concerned about our relationship. We're doing really well together. Is there something that your human could do to help you more, or to any way to improve your relationship, Gracie? She needs to stop beating herself up, is what Gracie is saying is sometimes when things go wrong that she blames herself a lot, or it's almost like there are, Gracie, show me that again. Yeah, she says if anything, she wants you to stop worrying about what other people think about you so much, and to recognize that what you're already doing is actually very important. Like, our time together has been very important, Gracie says, and it will continue to be. Is there anything else you're really wanting for the relationship, Gracie? Yeah, she's very adamant, Charmaine. She's like, no, things are great. I'm very happy. Let's keep working together. Stop beating yourself up and taking on this energy. Those are the only things, she says. So, okay, thanks, Gracie. All right, I'm taking one last look here at comments and the chat. All right, so we're coming to the end of our time. Gracie, thank you so much for talking with us. There we go, back to me. So thanks so much for joining us today. And if you feel like you have an animal friend, and this could be a domestic pet or even, you know, a wild animal that keeps hanging around your house. I mean, I live in Boulder, Colorado right now. We've been having all these sightings of mountain lions in town. I'm gonna talk to them later. So even if there is a wild animal that's showing up around you, if you can get a picture of them, you can send it to me and I'll try to get either your animal, your domestic animal or your wild animal into the queue to talk to. It's been such a fun series for me to do, to learn about the wisdom that the animals want to share with us here in the world. So thanks so much for joining us here today. And until next time, take care and be well.